Hey everyone, Jengar here. Welcome to this week's episode of Sub's Choice. Today we're flying out the Focke-Wulf 190 D-12, requested by Eagle Knife in the last episode of Sub's Choice, where he told us that he had this plane unlocked recently and he really wanted to know how to fly this thing. So I decided to help him out and to choose his request to do this time and show him how to fly this plane, or at least how I fly this plane. I'll see you in the match. Hey guys, so here we are in the match. We're in the Focke-Wulf 190 D-12. This is one of the Doras. As the Germans were looking later in the war for high altitude interceptors, they came up with the idea to put a bomber engine in a Focke-Wulf frame, which made the nose a little longer, and they compensated the tail section as well to keep the balance and make the wings a little larger. And this Juno 213 bomber engine they put in made a lot of fighter pilots doubt the plane in first hand, but once they started flying it, they realized that it was superior, for example, to the Mustang P-51B, and it was a joy to fly. It had a better climb rate and a better dive speed than the earlier Focke-Wulfs. It's just an overall superior plane, and they were very happy with this plane. Even though it was intended as a stopgap measure until Kurt Tank could finish his design on the Ta 152, which was intended as the ultimate high altitude interceptor. But in the meantime he designed the Doras and, well, basically designed one of the best fighters in the Second World War as a temporary measure. So in the game it's also a joy to fly. It does very well, but I noticed lately I didn't fly it that often lately, but the matches have become very short. Since the B-29 was introduced, I have not flown this plane a lot, but I have lately done some more flying in end of tier 4, 6.0, 6.3, and what I noticed is shorter matches, quicker matches. So here we are approaching a Bearcat. He avoids my shot, or it just flies too fast for me to hit. I make a loop over, check my 6. Nothing there. Bearcat goes vertical. I adjust my aim and I shoot him down. Now I'm taking it in the vertical again, as this is where the D-12 excels. Getting some more altitude. And once you have the altitude, as a boom and zoomer with its great energy retention and great performance at high speed, this plane is a dream to fly. Nothing can touch you. You basically have the speed of jets. Earlier jets, of course, but when you are in a dive. And that's great. Here goes the Seafire. Easy shot as he was going for ground targets. Now we're going for altitude again. See Key 84 there, being shot down by our allies. And we're going back for altitude, making a loop in the vertical. Now we had some members of GOF, including Flashman, in this match. Flashman is at the moment the highest scoring pilot in arcade overall. He has some 100 31,000 kills or something. I don't remember exactly how many, but he's at top of the chart. And he's up here with two of his teammates, so I needed to be careful of that a little bit, not to get in a mix where I get attacked by one or two of them. Need to single them out. So here I'm climbing and looking at where they are. There's a B-29 there up high, who's probably already dumped one or two of his bomb loads, as our tickets are going really fast, and those B-29s are a real nightmare as to the length of these matches at tier 4. They have such a high payload in their spacious belly that yeah, it just well, I don't know. It was what it was. It is what it is. In reality, they had a lot of bombs as well. Maybe Gaijin should do something with the bases and the targets. Maybe a little more of that before the tickets are down, because one or two B-29s can really shorten a match to the point where it's just too short. Here we have one of these golf guys at the end of his peak in his JM5 probably. J2 M5. Was an easy shot there, as he was at the top of his climbing peak. Now I have a lot of enemies down here. Trying to slot in at the rear of these 4 or 5 guys. Let's see how many we can get on this boom. Wolf A5, Key 43, and we zoom out the other way with a speed of 600 now. We're already climbing a bit again, and we're far removed from anybody, 2.5 kilometers already. So we're turning back in here. A lot of incoming again, but plenty of allies as well. Now looking for a target here. I have to look at the tickets. The match is already over almost, and I barely had the feeling that I was getting started. I think the match lasted about 8.5 minutes. Here we go on Dark Doker again. Focke-Wulf A5 that is. And we miss our approach. That should have been a kill right there. But we didn't get him. Now looping back over, get a second shot. That's I overshot there. He's making some nice moves, but one of my allies gets him. Blame myself for that one. That should have been my kill. Now we're taking some altitude again. I was trying to look around, but the view, the camera was acting up a little bit. Several Focke-Wulfs here. This one's after my ally, so I approach him first. We do get him. Looping up to get an approach on the second one. Try to get him inside my guns. But we don't get it, the match ended. We got 7 kills. 1400 research points. Final blow, survivor. And we do not get a talisman. Not never had one so far. Yeah, it was a nice match. Enjoyable, but a little too fast. I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, so here we are in the second match. Now in the meantime we had a few other matches, very short matches I must say, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 3-0 my score, 4-0, 3-0, just matches so short, they're over before you know it. Anyway, in this match we get into a match with some jets, and they're both on my side here. At least the ones I see now, all three of them. There's a P-80 on the deck as well. This F-84 makes a turn here after he shoots this, misses this friendly. I unload and shoot him down. Now I have 700 speed here from my dive. See this energy retention. I was flying straight for quite a while and only lost 2 or 3 kilometers an hour. Energy retention, speed of this plane in a dive, and then the energy retention when you fly straight or when you continue in a dive are great. And then if you want to go up again, its climb rate is great. So this plane really has a lot of attributes that really fit well with the boom and zoom philosophy. That's why you need to climb with this thing, because on lower speeds this thing will turn like a brick. It only starts turning well at high speeds in excess of 50, 500 kilometers an hour, but below that it turns worse and worse. So you need to keep your speed up. Now we are looking around here, deciding what we'll do. That jet over there is coming for me. I would see this pilot some more during this match, as he seems to be, there seems to be some honey on my ass. He was following me around, but it was fun. Had to avoid him a few times. So here we've got a BF-109G. It's a G6. I completely missed my shots here. There's the Heinkel. Now rolling out of the way. Going into a dive. Full whipping here, getting to 600 kilometers an hour, and he extends the other way. So we lost him for now. Now we can focus on this G6 here. Dow white on the stick. Let's see what he does. He varies a lot in the vertical, but here he stays stationary. And that's his downfall. Now you see the Heinkel over there, 3 kilometers below me with 2 of our guys on his ass. Another Heinkel from us here. So he's running for it at the moment. I don't know why I didn't go for that PA-80 that I saw there on the other side. It was only almost 3 kilometers away. And here we go into a head-on with this Heinkel. I get a few hits him, but he gets some damage on my wing.
Our base is under attack. We must repel the attackers.
Now we're climbing here a little bit. See if we can dive down on this BF-109 here again. Now we shoot there and avoid, but we don't hit him. This whole 229 here is very slow on the peak of his climb, and easy shot. And we go up again. 500 kilometers an hour, 4000 speed, that represents a lot of energy. And that's what you want to have in the D-12 and the D-13 for that matter. A lot of energy. I mean, it's always needed in the boom and zoom style, but in this plane it is essential. Now we shoot that guy down. I saw this Heinkel pilot coming by again, and I should have maybe focused on him because he misses his shots here. But we're going head on here with a Bearcat and out of the way. We do get a couple of hits on our left wing, but our opponent dies. Now looking at the ticket again, the enemy had more bombers than us, I think. Or at least did their best more with the ticket counter. And we are losing this match. Now I've got 4 or 5 guys behind me, following me. I wanted to have some fun before the end of this match. As I look back, I thought, well, got 2 kilometers on this guy, may as well turn around, but as you see, I am turning too slow. And that's even at 500 kilometers where I was at when I, a little under 500 kilometers when I started that turn. You really need to be high up with your speed for this thing to turn well. I get shot to pieces here. And well done to him for finally getting me, but I should have taken him when he went in front of my guns, but I chose to go for that lower target that came up. Choices, and I didn't really consciously see him then, but 5 kills here before I died. We're getting 10,000 this time. Silver Lions. Got a 4th place with that. Yeah, I'll see you after the match. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Well, those were some short matches. These matches were, well, the first match was alright, second match was a little shorter, but all in all, I've had some very short matches the last 2 days in this plane, with scores like 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, and just a few minutes of game, so not really worth showing. Only had 2 matches that were a little longer, and you saw them. But all in all, I think over the last 2 days, if we look at my replay list, you have the 5-1, you have the 3-0, you have another 3-0, you have a 4-0, and it goes on like that. This plane, if you use it correctly, doesn't die, or very difficult. Like in that last match where I died, I chose to die there because I decided at the end of the match, I turned around, maybe I could take 1 or 2 of them with me, but I forgot that I was slower than 500 and I didn't turn quick enough, and that's why I died. Also died, if I would have put my nose down and taken it in a dive, I might have survived. But I took it up to get a shot at that Cobra, and well, you all know what happened after that. I died, but you die very little in this plane if you use it correctly, and that's how it should be. This plane has a battle rating of 6.3, which makes you face jets a lot of the times, which isn't too bad, but you also face jet bombers and stuff like that, which can make for short matches. Because if you get a wave of B-57s or something, well, you all know what happens then. The bases go down very quickly. Anyway, the top speed of this plane is fantastic. 767 at altitude, of course, and the turn time of this plane is around 20, but 19.6, and maybe even a little better when you have high speeds. Turns really well on high speeds, performs really well on high speeds, but the lower your speed is, the worse this turn time goes. So at 400 or 300 kilometers, you don't want to calculate with this turn time. It becomes a little bit of a brick. The climb rate, well, 28.3 is very good, and it climbs very well as well in the matches in War Thunder. In reality, it climbed pretty good as well. But in War Thunder, this is also represented. You can, if you abuse Weapon Bit, you can end up pretty high there, up there with the Spitfires and the other good climbers. Now, and here is also the armament, which is brilliant. Look at this. It's a 30mm in the nose and a 20mm right here next to the nose. So it's really a centered firepower. A lot of burst per second, which is very good. No bomber will survive when you unload with this thing, nor any fighter. But that, of course, after that is up to aiming. But if you look at the fuel here, slab below and underneath the pilot, with the armor protecting the fuel tanks from below, and I think that I didn't really read anything about this, but it's probably done because this was intended as a high altitude fighter, so they expected things to come from below shooting up at this thing, and that's why the armor is underneath the fuel tanks. At least that's my guess. Protection for the pilot, windshield, rest pretty standard. All in all, this is a very nice plane to get, to unlock. You can fight jets with it. In a dive, this thing can keep up and even catch some jets. So it's really competitive there. It's only when you really get up tier to 7.3, and of course some people making their lineups with an 8.3 and 6.3s ending up on, but then you have planes 2 tiers above you. Then you will have some trouble with the jets, but even then you have a good chance to win a head-on in this thing as well. So I love this plane, the Dora, and also the D-13 and the D-9. Great planes, really enjoyable. And I would recommend anybody prioritizing these planes when researching the German trees. So well, I hope you enjoyed those 2 little clips. If you did, make sure to like the video, leave me a comment, and if you want to see more, subscribe. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.